Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Playstuff TV. Tonight we'll be casting the UGC TF2 Highlander League Playstuff versus Free Fire in a Koth match on Koth Viaduct Pro. We're in week 10 of the UGC League now, and I'll be joined tonight by Nuttmegger from Playstuff, who I shall refer to as Nut from here on in. And of course, we've got Jimbo McBee dealing with the technical side here with us in channel, and hopefully not pulling his hair out too much. We have been playing in this league now for 10 weeks, like I say, doing quite well. Playstuff currently 17th in the league, and I'll pass you over to Nuttmegger now, who'll tell us a little bit more about how we're doing, what we're doing, who we're against, and get ready to go straight into the game, which will be starting very shortly. Nut.
Hi there. Well, welcome everybody. It's interesting that you mentioned that we are actually 17th in the league, because we are up against Free Fire, who you did mention, and they are actually 19th in the UGC League for West Europe. So it's going to be quite a close matchup in terms of the numbers, and it's going to be interesting to see how this match plays out. We're going to be playing tonight on a map called for Koth Viaduct, which is a central control point map. And we're just going to be fighting over that 1 point. First to four wins.
Okay, first to four. Yeah, this is a fairly complicated format tonight. When I was reading the rules earlier, there's a half-time point, I think, which is after 3 points. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We basically play this out in 2 rounds. The first team that gets to 3 points, then after a team gets to 3 points, we cancel out and go into a sort of half-time, and then we play another round again. And if that leads us into a tie, then we play a third round, and it's going to go down to a golden cap, which would be quite interesting to see. Most of the matches I've seen at Viaduct have been a bit one-sided, so that would be a rare treat.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that sounds quite interesting. Looking forward to this match. It's really a pivotal point for us in the league. There's, I believe, 80 players in the UGC League, so we're sitting quite pretty at 17th, considering it's our first season in UGC. We've been practicing. We've played a season in the TF2 Highlander League. We're also playing this season there in Division 4. We cast that last night. You'll find the VODs on our YouTube channel, which is YouTube/Playstuff TV. And also, whilst we're talking about social media, you can also like us on the Facebook page, which if you're watching now, we'd be very grateful if you went across there and click the like button. You'll be updated of news about Playstuff when they're playing, that kind of thing, and other things that we do in the community as we get more used to posting stuff on Facebook rather than just on our very active forum where we usually hide away. That's at facebook.com/Playstuff. And there's not a lot on there yet. We've just set the page up, so go and be one of the first people to like us. We'd be very grateful.
Yeah, go start that ball rolling. And speaking of the ball starting to roll, we have just entered the first round.
Here we go.
All right, so the rollout going ahead. Angry Potato goes as the demo man straight ahead as the front. He's using the sticky jumper. Sorry, not the sticky jumper. And he is first to the point, launching stickies all over the place, locking out the other team. The other team in a bit of a defensive pose at the moment. But on the point's about to get released, and let's see what the players do.
Yeah, but I notice Lemmy Winks has gone down already. That's the place to scout, but he'll respawn now. It's quite possible he went down to give the engineer the extra metal. I didn't see that happen, but I'm guessing that's what happened. Playstuff starting off very boldly. They're straight onto the point, going for the cap. They've taken down the sentry for the blue team and looking to hold blue team off from recapping that point for as long as possible now, as the clock ticks down from 3 minutes to the 0 for the win. Blue now with the Uber on the point.
Callum wisely holding back and ready to use that Uber. Because he popped his Uber later, he gets to go in afterwards with a full Uber, and he looks like he's gone for Wondui, who is spreading all sorts of chaos with that flamethrower.
Yeah, really nice decision to Uber the pyro for Playstuff there, because whilst there's other classes that can cause a lot more damage, it's King of the Hill and it's who's on the point, so the pyro very able to blast everyone off that point and give Playstuff a little bit more time. But here come Free Fire. They've taken that point back. They're going to see the clock ticking down now. Playstuff with 2 minutes 7 on the clock. Free Fire looking to hold it.
One of the interesting points about the Pro map is how quickly that middle point actually caps. I believe it caps at double speed as your regular viaduct, so you know the game can change as quickly as that. Even sneak caps are possible. It's just altogether geared for a more exciting and dynamic and back and forth game.
Absolutely, and now we see Playstuff popping their Uber. They're going to push forward now, get rid of this sentry, which they have done. The scout with a very nice pick on the Uber, the heavy that was not Ubered anymore, as the soldier was given a bit of focus. Playstuff recapping, and it's back to their hold. The countdown begins.
Just watching Nemesis. He's the top scorer for Free Fire at the moment. He just managed to pick off Sniper Apocalypse, and it looks like he's coming in from the back again, managed to ward off his attackers. He looks like he's going to be pesky.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see Apocalypse playing as a sniper tonight. He's traditionally the Playstuff spy. He plays both positions, of course. Tonight we've got Seric in the spy position, very, very good spy. And we're hoping that... oh, we've got a little query going up on screen. Is spy side allowed in UGC? So someone obviously doesn't think... APOC obviously doesn't think it is. Playstuff retaking the point. Counting down now. Very fast-paced game. Hard to know how to keep up with the action from my point of view. What do you think?
Yeah, this is interesting. It's always glad to see Playstuff ahead, of course. Nicely taking a bit of a defensive position as we take that point. You know, you have the option on this map. I played recently with the team, and the other team was absolutely dominating us, coming up straight in our faces after they capped the point, and it really made it difficult for us to push forward. Playstuff playing a bit more cautiously than that.
Okay. An interesting point's just been made in chat, actually. Both teams don't share a single opponent. Just showing how big the UGC Euro West field is, for none of them to face the same opponents throughout the season. So I think the season comprises of 15 games. Like I say, this is the 10th game. So we've got 5 more games after this, and I think a little bit of friendly rivalry is going to develop between these two sides, because they are both at the moment, as we said earlier, similarly placed, with Playstuff at 17th and Free Fire at 19th. Playstuff looking confident though, I think. They've got a good strong position here. The damage dealers up in front. The Uber advantage is only 10% in their favour, but nonetheless. No, the medic's been taken down, so they've now got a very good Uber advantage. With 10 seconds on the clock, they look certain to take this, the first game in this first to 4.
Excellent. Oh, and a quick pick on the heavy at the end. A few seconds left on that cap point, but we've got 3 players, and the Uber just wisely used there, running out the time. And that's our round.
Really nice. Playstuff takes it, and that'll really boost the guys' confidence, because they got, for want of a better term, spanked last time they played on Viaduct. So they needed the confidence boost. They knew they were capable of playing better than they did that last game, last match. And one of the distinguishing things that in any kind of league, once you've got played on a map and been spanked, is that you can practice and see what you did wrong, take some tips from the better side, and hopefully improve on the next time you play it. So very pleased to see that they've actually done that, and that they've taken everything on board they learned from the last match. And here we see again, strong push straight to the front. The blue team sitting with the Uber advantage. They're going to, I would expect, blow that soon, try and get some strength on the point. But I think the fact that Playstuff have taken down their engineer, their scout, and their heavy will probably make them a little bit more reluctant to push the point. So Playstuff have it. The clock's ticking down.
I'm just a little bit nervous. The crits demo is just about to come in. He's launching those crit stickies, very deadly, one-shotting pretty much every single class. Although he's got no one to kill. We have retreated off of it very nicely and sent our Pyro in the defensive Uber. Wondery doing a nice job of air blasting him away.
That was really nice play, because the medic's never going to lose his Uber, but of course he needs a player to Uber. So the Pyro getting rid of the medic, leaving the demo man free from any Uber and fairly impotent in the circumstances. Couldn't drop down the crit stickies that he wanted to drop down. Playstuff managed to survive that quite nicely. Not one player fell, as far as I can tell. They're back there on the point now, taking up a very dominant and aggressive position in the centre. the engineer pushing forward with his mini sentry just to give them a bit of grief, keep that scout occupied for Free Fire. And I'm impressed with Playstuff so far, Nut.
Yeah, I've got to tease Callum a little bit, actually. The Nemesidio, this spy we're a bit scared of, who's still topping the blue scoreboard, Callum was just healing him for quite a while as he was running back. Yeah, it looks like he's still... Oh, he's gone down now, but he did manage to take out a couple of players, the engineer and the sniper, before he went down. Again,
it must be a good spy. Callum's no fool. He's one of our strong players. He plays competitively quite regularly, and he certainly clears the server occasionally when we're playing on our team play server. So, yeah, for him to be fooled, the spy's doing a good thing for Free Fire. But it's not going to be enough at the moment. Playstuff still look dominant, despite several good kills by Free Fire, taking down the scout, taking down the pyro, the demo man, the soldier, and the spy. But Free Fire now taking advantage of the reduced numbers of spawned Playstuff players and capturing this point. With 1 minute 9 on the clock, it swings over to Free Fire with 2 minutes 40.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not out of this round yet, because we've got to retreat a little bit on our position. Fortunately, our players are starting to file in, and we might actually be able to get an attack going off this left-hand side. The heavy charging in first. If he gets picked off by that sniper, though, that's going to be a bit of a... Oh no, it's just happened! I can't believe it.
It was a lovely shot by the sniper. Encouraging to see Playstuff holding back, regrouping, making sure that they don't lose too much, but unfortunately they may be held back a little bit too long there, and Blues, having the cap, pushed forward and took down a significant chunk of the team, buying them a little bit more time. Playstuff now, I think, just needs to be a little bit patient, not panic, regroup, respawn, and push back, get that point, and go for the win.
Now, if Callum gets out of this situation, I will be impressed. He's been pushed around by that pyro all the time, being air blasted up in the air. Again, an impotent Uber happening there, as he was just sort of played with as his Uber target went down, but he popped just after.
Yeah, I mean, so important, these Ubers, especially in KOF. The Uber kind of sets the pace of the game in competitive TF2 in any event, whether it's Sixers or whether it's KOF, Highlander like this, rather. And so important that each team makes the most use of it. The Pyros, as we said earlier, can be extremely destructive to that, and so far both Pyros doing a very good job of addressing their role in the situation and making sure that the Ubers are as useless as possible. It's interesting here now, the blue team Free Fire, they've got a nice sentry of their level 3 sentry. It's wrangled. They've got a handy teleporter there, which they're using to great effect. Playstuff looking like they're up against it in this round.
Yeah, you mentioned the importance of the Uber there, but I'd just like to mention that Free Fire are actually using the crit streak, and the last 3 crit streaks have gone off pretty well for them. And you know, one Uber does of course beat a crit streak, but if you can get those crit streaks nice and thick and fast, coming again like Free Fire have been managing to do, and here comes another one. Then it can be incredibly effective versus the Uber as soon as you've sort of broken that first hurdle.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Just moving to the action for a second, we've got Playstuff retaking this point here, not being allowed to do it very easily though. However, I think that the blue team's impatience there has cost them dearly, because all but 3 are dead. Playstuff will take the point. There'll be a respawn delay for the blue side, and Playstuff now in a position to take this game, but if they lose this point, they've lost this round, because there's no way they're going to be able to stop Free Fire with 8 seconds remaining on their clock.
Oh, absolutely. Playstuff on the last of their chances now, because it really is just 8 seconds left on that clock, and that is not a comfort zone. They can't really let this point go back down again.
No, absolutely can't. They've taken down the sniper. He's just respawning. They've got a massive Uber advantage. They're sitting there with a full Uber. It's going to be the game over before the blue side have their Uber. So I would say that Uber decides, and as you say, they're also rolling the crits Uber. They're not using the same method as us. I always prefer the standard Uber in these games, but it's all equally important to say that teams can cause devastation with the crits, and that's good. Playstuff using their Uber now. They need to get on that point and not let it get capped.
Oh, this is incredibly close. If this, I think Playstuff have this actually. It looked a bit tense for a moment there.
It certainly did, but they did a very good job. I'd like to see maybe the soldier running with the buff banner at points like this when they blow their Uber. The medic can only be Ubering one player at a time, and the rest of the team are vulnerable at that point. If you've got a crit or a buff bannered soldier in the mix, then everyone gains that extra level of power, and it's possible to do that takedown of the rest of the team much quicker. But it's a strategy that they're kind of playing with at the minute. They haven't got fully comfortable with it. They've played opponents that use it to great effect. They did so last night in the ETF2 league, but it worked for them this time. They got the round. It was very well played. I think that's they held their nerve, they pushed back, they got the cap, and they're coming out again strong here. We can see that they're keeping a fairly consistent player count alive, and it's more often than not better than Blue's alive player count, but I'm choosing a poor time to say that because currently 2 from Playstuff Down, and at the time 3 from Free Fire.
Well, on your point about the buff banner and possible loadouts we might be seeing, I'm just interested in watching how Jimmy is designing his play. He's a very versatile soldier, and he's very good at getting lots of rocket jumps and going on his own, really. Oh, but hold that thought. Kritzkrieg is just about to come in from Lapsus, the Free Fire medic. He's at 100%. He's ready. Looks like he's going to go for the heavy. Heavy and a soldier. We might be seeing a bit of mix and match. It
does, and there's no defensive Uber held by Playstuff here, so this is going to be strong.
And oh dear, our heavy caught out of position there. Oh, fantastic work from our spy, Serik. He takes out the medic, he takes out the heavy, he nullifies the threat.
Absolutely superb. And that wrangled sentry, I noticed there, Playstuff doing a great job of just stopping the Free Fire team pushing the point when they clearly had the advantage. But sadly now, every single player from Playstuff down for a very brief moment, and it seems unlikely. It is unlikely. It's being capped by Free Fire. And the clock freezes 1:51. Free Fire now with control.
The wrangled sentry is a very good tactic against Kritzkrieg because it is not affected by crits. So it can tank a bit of damage for you, and of course, if nothing else, just a bit of knockback on the heavy, so it doesn't look quite at you. But it looks like Playstuff are coming in quite strong now. Lots of power classes up on the high ground at those cliffs, forcing Free Fire to retreat back down to the valley. Now, with the Uber advantage, with Free Fire, we could be in for a nasty surprise when we actually push up. But
let's see what
happens.
Let's hope our medic stays undercover, because this heavy's about to unleash a volley of crits that could devastate Playstuff here. Wisely, they fall back.
And Serik gets the heavy kill again. Arx must be absolutely infuriated by Serik at the moment. Good job.
Yeah, that's a superb pick. I mean, obviously, the heavy Ubud is not something you want to come up against. Playstuff did a good job of keeping back, grouping together and waiting to push, but equally that put them in a very clustered position, and one that could be caused a hell of a lot of damage by crits heavy. They're retaking the point now, though. 1:51. The clock freezes at 1:31 for Free Fire and Playstuff. All but the scout and Serik, the spy, are up. The soldier's just gone down, Jimmy, with a nice pick.
The thing about Spy is that you're going to go down a lot because you put yourself in a lot of dangerous positions, and what you need to make sure you do before you go down is you take out their key players. Serik doing a great job of that. Yeah,
really superb, and I think I'm really impressed by the way Playstuff are playing tonight. One thing I've noticed they've changed. They're not having their pyro obsessively watching and spy checking for the medic. Other classes are taking that responsibility, which of course means the pyro is free to cause grief wherever he chooses on the field. And whilst it's tempting to have the pyro always at the medic spy checking, he's really useful in KOF because he can deny so much progress against the opposition by just using his air blast to push them back down the hill. Obviously it's a raised hill, this being a king of the hill map, they always tend to be. So the pyro can be really useful on the front lines, and having him stay back and constantly spy check, I think, puts you at a disadvantage, counterintuitively, though it seems to say.
Well, he's a close-range class, isn't he? So, he wants to be in their face. Now,
absolutely.
It looks like we've only got 30 seconds left on the point, so we might possibly be seeing half-time at Playstuff go up 3-0.
And they're going to be very happy with that. I mean, we by the way, must make no apologies. We're entirely biased casting this. We're casting for the community first and foremost. Like we say, you can join us on the community website, or you can join us at Facebook. So we won't make any apologies for bias, but we will recognise really good play by the opponents. Absolutely, we will. Just on these particular 3 rounds, Playstuff have played a blinder. Free Fire not making it easy for them, but Playstuff just having the upper hand and showing their team cohesion, really. They're, whilst inexperienced in competitive play of late as a team, individuals have more experience. They are very, very much used to cooperative play because we focus on team play, even on our pub servers at Playstuff, and always have done since we were founded. So that was very satisfying.
Yeah, I'm gobsmacked, actually, because like you say, the last time we played on Viaduct, it's not a favourite map, it must be said. And obviously coming up a team of an equal standing in the league, at least, and doing quite well and being quite cohesive. I think Callum doing a good job of pulling his team together as a medic. He was sort of coaching through the team at the beginning.
Yeah, and he'll be calling this, I'm guessing. Mighty Bob's not playing. He's often the caller in the team. Callum, I would say, with as much competitive experience as anybody else on the Playstuff side, would make an excellent call. I'm not listening to the team comms, so I can't tell you whether he is calling or not, but I'm guessing. Excuse me. Now we're just waiting for the restart. Both teams possibly having a little team chat, talking about what their strategy is going to be. For me, their strategies need to be changed. Free Fire need to make sure they're a bit more cohesive as a team, cover their heavy classes a bit better, stick together a bit better, and push with more force. I would suggest they move to an Uber. Whilst the crits is a nice thing to have, the Uber in such an exposed position as the middle of a Koth map is, I think, invaluable, and Playstuff wise to roll out with it.
Yeah, there is a lot to be said for team calling. One of the things that I feel that Free Fire are falling down on is that their Kritzkriegs are sometimes coming in a bit haberdashery at the wrong time sometimes. And there's no reason for that. They've got a scout and a spy in position who can call and say, they're all up ahead in your face. Go get them. It's, now's the time to push. And I just feel if they got a bit tighter with that and realised where their opportunities lie, they could do a lot more damage.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, Playstuff, for me, doing a good job of shutting down the troublesome classes of Free Fire. That's probably causing them some surprise, maybe. Maybe they weren't expecting to find such a coordinated team. I don't know who their opponents have been to date. But I can't find a lot of fault with the way Playstuff are playing this game. They are playing a very strong game, and it's encouraging to see. And I think we're just waiting now for them to restart, aren't we? We're just in a bit of downtime.
Yeah, a lot of bizarre things going on in the chat. Angry Potato mentioning Nut is a smelly bastard. I don't know what that means.
No idea. Okay, angry. Two Monkeys from a Zoo has been pointing out some of the additional rules for this competition. You're not allowed to use the reserve shooter, the enforcer, the machiner, the Pomson 6000, the Phlogistinator 6, the Holiday Punch, and the Bominomicom. But there's no mention of the Spicicle, so that's cleared that up.
Oh, excellent. I had a very sad face when you said a lot of those weapons. A lot of the banned list is my current favourite weapons because they're all kind of troll weapons. Let's be honest.
Because they're overpowered, yeah.
Yeah, they're brilliant. I mean, the ability to cancel Ubers as an engineer, how satisfying is that? But I think it's something like 5% per hit, and it hits 3 times in a shot. So it's very cruel on engineers, and it really does ruin the main team dynamic in Team Fortress, so I can understand why a competitive league would decide to get rid of that, but still, sad face.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that the league's tolerant enough to allow teams to use a menagerie of weapons in their loadouts. But on the other hand, Team Fortress in its vanilla form is a very beautiful thing, in my opinion. I've been a big fan of it ever since Team Fortress came out in beta. I have the odd moan about weapons as they come out and scream OP. So I have mixed feelings about not playing vanilla TF2. I kind of like a game that sets very strict pieces, and it depends on a skill ceiling of team play and strategy and accuracy. And I'm not so keen on FPS games introducing a more kind of RTS element into them, with the ability to build different teams, different strategies. On the other hand, it adds depth. In Highlander, every class is represented, so it kind of doesn't make as much of a difference as in 6v6s. And I think that it makes for some very entertaining games, which can be won or lost based on the loadout the team rolls with.
I was interested during the setup, if you were looking around the Free Fall's loadouts. They had some very wacky loadouts during the play rounds, and we had medics with the crossbow. We had all sorts of crazy stuff, and I was just going to see whether they're going to be one of those wacky teams, but it looks like we're actually going into the second round, and to bear in mind, Playstuff only actually need to cap that point and hold it for 3 minutes to win this. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I think that Free Fire will have been planning hard on how they're going to approach this. They're not too hard by the looks of it, because they've lost their heavy already by choosing a deathmatch approach to the start of the game. 4 of Free Fire going down, 5 of Free Fire going down, just respawning now, but that's not a good start for them. Playstuff with an advantage.
They are making themselves a hill to climb from this, losing so many players so early on. It's going to be very difficult to re-coordinate. The Kritzkrieg is also deflected back by an Uber. Yeah, they're going to struggle for the next 2 minutes to sort of put something together. Let's hope it's a test of their character and they come out, well, showing a good competition.
Yeah, I think so, because it's clear the guys have got good skills. They're not. This is not a weak team we're playing here. It would be nice from a spectator's point of view. I know the guys in chat would probably prefer it if they'd win this one and take it to an extra game or two. My personal opinion is the Playstuff should just go and finish them off, so I can't pretend to have any other desire than that. I'm keen for the guys to...
main caller, I don't see any other attitude permeating through the ranks of the Playstuff team.
No, I think you're pretty safe to say that, mate. Caleb plays to win. And that's what he's going to be insisting from the rest of the team. We'll just see now how they respond on Free Fire.
Oh, and Serek getting a couple of great picks on the heavy again. My god, that guy must be fuming. But Playstuff, that sort of equalises the playing ground, because it's only evened out the number of players that lived. We were actually losing before that happened. So
yeah. No, it's going to be tough, this. I mean, Free Fire taking the cap, holding it with a sniper. Interesting choice. Maybe they think he's dispensable. He can also take some picks as Playstuff respawn if he's quick enough. If Playstuff are wise, though, they'll be bringing players from either side. Someone's going to flank him, someone's going to take him out.
It looks like here comes that push throwing in from Callum, and who is our heavy? Clongineer. And yep, the Uber goes in. They don't really have an answer for it at the moment. I don't think they've got their Kritzkrieg ready for the counter push.
No, they need to get this point, because the Kritzkrieg will be ready very shortly. They will certainly be spamming those crits as much as possible on the point. But Playstuff doing a really good job shutting them down and stopping the possibility of that.
Oh, and Serek. Oh my god, he's being annoying. He just as that Kritzkrieg was coming in, he managed to get he tried to pick off the medic, but it didn't actually get the kill. But the medic had to dance around a corner so that the Kritzkrieg didn't actually do anything.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah.
I have to say, Serek is playing an absolute blinder this match. I think if you're going to ask me who our man of the match is if we win this round now, I'm not going to have too much trouble calling it. Although I also think that Callum's done a superb job with his. For never losing his Ubers. He's making the most of them. He's making sure he's fully aware of the position of the enemy team's spy. The rest of the team, of course, will be keeping him well informed of that. Playstuff just need to keep calm, hold this point for the win, and they'll be very happy boys indeed, because this is just the confidence boost they needed after what they would describe as being rolled in their last game on this map.
Yeah, and well, Sarek would definitely be my attacking man of the match. I would have to give some credit to Wundwee as well, who has done a great job of defending off all of those Ubers. And it looks like the round has actually ended. The stream has paused. Or is that just my
paused. I don't know if that means the round's ended. Their medic dropped. Pause. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a good time for them to drop a medic. 6 seconds for the win. That gives us a bit of time to just take a deep breath. It's been, how do you put it? It's been tense.
Yeah. It's kind of an awkward thing, actually, because I was talking about my man of the match and wrapping it all up and sort of saying how great this was going, and then what happens? We get a pause. So just to draw out that nice segue we would have got there if we indeed had got the win, not to be presumptuous. How do you feel this game's going, Colt?
I think it's going really well. I'm just confused by the announcer ignoring the pause. The countdown she's just done related to the map time. The map time overwritten by the tournament mode. The medic's rejoined, I'm being told now in Steam, so I expect we're going to see this button pressed, the pause stopping. But frankly, the right thing to do to pause it, in the sense that they want every second they can get. But I just don't see it making an awful lot of difference with 6 seconds on the clock for Playstuff.
Well, I must mention right now, I've noticed that Tony... actually, this can wait a second.
We had another pause.
Another pause?
Okay, well, this is strange. I'm not so keen on it. It tends to be commonplace to pause a game if a player drops a couple of seconds afterwards, usually, or with some discussion, pause please, for example. But that was kind of stutter pausing, which is, I'm sure there's good reason for it. I won't suggest anything too cynical.
Well, if you're 3.9 rounds down, you're not going to start resorting to this sort of tactics, are you?
No. I'm sure it was just a panic because they were losing a player, and they need every player they can get.
Yeah, and
control point is being captured.
And there's a chat delay. Of course, we're watching the Source TV stream, of course, so we see the game seconds after the action.
And they're going to hold on to that point for just a little bit longer, for certain, as their heavy comes in just as Wundwee was trying to finish off the last cap. Remembering that point does cap very fast, so it's worth every one of our players, whenever they have a slight opportunity going forward and possibly getting that cap. There's 0 seconds left, why not? Yeah,
absolutely. At the moment, Free Fire look to have pulled this game around a little bit. They've got less than 60 seconds on the clock. They've got a strong set of units alive and at the front. Only the scout respawning at the moment. The Pyro's taken some damage, but he's going to be fine. And Playstuff have to just regroup. I think they're waiting for their Uber. They've got 30 seconds. No, here they come. They're coming. They're going to try and push now. They will have an Uber very shortly. We don't want to see the heavy overextending himself. The push needs to come right now with the Uber.
And I'm noticing a lack of blue around the place, and I think that's going to be a cap, and 60 seconds, here we go.
Yeah, that was pretty nice patient play there by Playstuff, with full knowledge that they had an Uber coming.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused there because the stream chat, the chat in the game is actually just mentioning the pause that happened a little while ago. I keep getting confused by that lag. Anyway, 30 seconds left in this game. We've got the various odd rushes from the players left alive. There's only 4 of them left alive for Free Fire, so I think this is going to see us out nicely. And Ark, just for good measure, gets stabbed by Serik again.
These guys are going to be looking for Serik's home address. If he gets a DDoS incoming at some point tonight, then we just have to applaud the guys who did it and say he deserved every single minute of lost internet time.
And there we have it. We have a win for Playstuff. GG's being thrown down by both the players. And, well, a fantastic win in the end, 4-0.
So superb job. Can't really fault Playstuff there. Wouldn't want to take anything away from a superb, convincing win. under difficult circumstances, in the fact that they were all extremely paranoid about the rolling they took last time on Cough Viaduct. So, yeah, really well done to the guys.
But yeah, I know you're a fan of vanilla, but what would you say to a demo man wearing a bunny hat with white shades, with the Kritzkrieg jumping in the air, in the pause with his legs spinning around? That was a brilliant moment. I was around throughout the entire pause.
Yeah, you possibly can't beat that. But no, I say I'm a fan of vanilla. I'm very much a fan of the kind of increased level of strategy required by allowing additional weapons in the Highlander format, because 9v9, every class represented, it provides a lot more colour to the matchup, and for me makes it the best matchup of any in the competitive TF2 scene. I like 6v6. It's exciting, but it does tend to follow a formula, especially if you're playing no crits, especially if you're playing vanilla. And now I'm getting confused because people in Vent are talking, and I'm thinking it's coming from Skype. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Cheers for joining us, guys. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/playstuff. We upload the VODs to YouTube, which is youtube.com/playstuff. And I'm on Twitter. If you want to follow me, I'll always announce when the game's going live. My name's Logan. My Twitter account is Logan_PS. Nut, have you moved into the same century as us yet, or are you still not on Twitter?
I'm still not on Twitter, unfortunately. I am not a tweeter. I must get around to that. If I get a following of 10, I think that would be an achievement.
Yeah, get yourself on Twitter. Get yourself on Twitter. It's a nice place. You can follow all the thousands of great gamers and that are on there. There's not one person I follow on my Twitter account that isn't a gamer or something to do with games and esports. So if you don't want to follow me on Twitter, at least go and follow the people I'm following, because they're a great bunch. And they are taking esports rather from the forums and out into the wider world, turning it to the mainstream. And I want to support that as much as possible. So if you can't be bothered with social media, join us on our forum at playstuff.net.
The nicest place on the internet?
It is the nicest place on the internet. We're all right. We're a nice-ish bunch. And we have plenty of servers that aren't publicly listed that you'll find out about if you join the forum. We also have a very public team play server for TF2 that's a great place to come if you are a relatively skilled player and want a more organised public play, or if you're a noob who likes to die a lot. A good place to come. So feel free to join us there. As I say, join the community, get on our Minecraft server. We're going to be running a CSGO server as soon as we all get the required software for that. We run various Half-Life 2 servers, mods, that kind of thing. We run them to demand. We've got plenty of resources for servers. If we want to put a game up, we do. And we'd love to see some of you there. But from me, Logan, good night. And over to Nut to say his final words, and we'll sign off.
Well, that was a most excellent game, and I thank everybody in the stream for watching. I thank everybody who's going to be watching this on the VOD. It's really great to be a part of this, and thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. And cheers to Jim as well, who without Jim, we would just be streaming in 260p at 10 frames per second.
With crackly mics and
camera angles and terrible everything. So Jim makes this possible in that sense. And he'll be joining me again for some more casting, if you enjoyed his casting last night, in the next couple of weeks, where we'll be playing more games in the UGC and the ETF2 Highlander leagues. Good night from me.